Okay, so I'm going to try to show quickly how to add episode numbers in the right places. And I've got the latest post loaded, and I'm scrolling down. We're searching for something that's going to be almost at the bottom uh, of this thing. And when we're editing a podcast episode, it's going to be slightly different than when we are creating. Down here, you'll see this little box that says podcast episode. Check that box, and suddenly we have options that we can see. Now, this is an existing podcast, so we don't want to mess with the URL in particular. That's probably the most important thing, leaving that alone. So we have two options, two boxes for iTunes episode. And the main one is this one, the number. In this case, it's episode 401, and we simply type 401 in there. And this is the new important one too, and I'm not even sure this existed a week ago. But we want to add the title as we want it to appear in iTunes right here. And so up here in the WordPress title, we have that title. And I'm copying that and scrolling back down to place it here. And this will, in the feed that goes to iTunes, this will override the WordPress title that would otherwise show up. And it's totally acceptable under this new system to add QFY 401 in here at the end. Now, while we're in here, this is the title. We have an SEO title as well. There's a bunch of different places where titles can go. And it will pull the WordPress title in as well if we don't change it, but we can customize it here too. And put something in here that will appeal to somebody doing a Google search if the keywords that we're providing in this help. Add that, save it, and that's now hardwired in to be our SEO title. The title shows up in Google search. Now, as I was scrolling, last little thing, I noticed that we've got the show notes showing up in a way that's not exactly the goal here. I think they might be in the wrong field or duplicated. So I'm going to open this up and take a look. This down here this is a label. This is not where we want the show notes. So I'm going to copy this. And I want to make sure that these are in the correct place, and that should be here. And to open that, we click the menu one more time, and then we see this little box where it said, add the show notes here. This is where we want to put them. So I'm going to, and then there's a couple saves to get out of here. Don't hit the X in the upper right-hand corner. That saves it once. I want to get rid of all this extra text here, and I'm just going to call this show notes, renaming it such that it'll be easier to manage. Save and exit again. And those save and exits in Divi don't actually do anything permanent until we hit the WordPress update. And when I do this, it's going to change that iTunes title to the safe one that doesn't have the episode number. The WordPress one didn't either in this case, but it does now have the episode number that iTunes can eventually pick up and put in the right place that they want it to be. So saving that. And one last thing as my browser finishes loading that into the site. I want to show you what this looks like when we're adding a new episode as well. It's slightly different, so I'm going to hit Add New. Try to hit Add New. Oh, yeah, the site's been going kind of slow. If you're seeing this, this is the server not playing nice. Something at Bluehost isn't quite up to snuff the last couple of days. I don't know what. Bluehost is a service that's okay for WordPress blogging, but it's for performance reasons. It's not one of the better ones. Try it again. Yeah, things aren't quite working right. This is a Bluehost problem. So I'm going to stop the video here, and I'll show you the place for adding new in the future. Might be, oh, here we go. So when you add new, again, this is what we'll see. We scroll all the way down, and this should be expanded. If by chance you don't see this at all, final last tip, come into your WordPress screen options. There's this little funny tab up here at the right called Screen Options. And this allows us to customize what we see on our editor page. And in this case, we want to make sure that podcast episode is checked. If it's unchecked, you will not see that box anymore. It will take it away. If we check it, then it will come back eventually once we close that. There it is. Yeah, I had minimized it. There it is. There are other things that you may want to see or not see. Totally up to you. There's a number of different things going on here. So you can pick and choose what it is that the settings that you want, as long as you're, just be careful not to hide anything that could be, that you might need. So in general, you're the only author on the site. You may not need to show the author button. And there could be other areas where you want to see stuff or not see stuff to speed your flow through here. So stopping the video there. Hopefully that was quick and short and helpful.